Hey guys, welcome back to Knight's Code AI. Today, I'm going to see if AI will talk crap about itself. So, there's a very hot topic in today's culture about the downsides of AI, and there's there's folks out there kind of making a living off of just talking about all the negative impacts that AI is going to have. So, I've kind of been on the other side. I'm a solution architect slash developer. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm currently using AI tools to build things much faster. Like I can build something in 2 days that used to take me 2 sprints, so like a month. I can get it done in 2 days, and that's very useful for me. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like there's no downsides to AI. There's there's things like job loss and environmental impact. There's just gobs and gobs of money, including taxpayer money, that's going into building these data centers. The cost of computer hardware is going up in some cases, and whether these specific things impact you or not is, you know, depends on your life scenario, right? So we're gonna get into some of those things. First of all, I want to see, okay, does AI think there's negative impacts? I imagine it should have some data on this because it's ultimately pulling a lot of its knowledge from blogs and things. So humans are talking about this a lot, so AI should know a lot about it. Negative impacts, multifaceted, affecting everything from our daily cognitive habits to global economic structures. Our is interesting word. Like, does Gemini think it's a human? Okay. Economic disruption and inequality. While AI creates efficiency, it also disrupts labor markets and wealth distribution. Displacement, I believe, is going to be a real thing, especially for companies that primarily build software. That's that's going to be a huge one. Also for companies that do analytics, um, business analysts, things like that. If they're consultant companies that do that, I think there's going to be some significant job loss in those areas. AI automation is capable of performing routine analytical tasks, threatens jobs, not just in manufacturing. I think this is actually not the biggest impacted area, which, 10 years ago I thought, robotics is gonna take off, put a lot of people out of business. Now it's really these analytical tasks and analytical jobs that are in danger, but also in white collar customer service, translation, data entry for sure, junior level coding or writing. And I think, junior, even mid level coding, software engineers, there'll be a little bit of displacement. Um, not so much, not so much mid level, but because I think there's going to be a lot of job opportunities as well. But the most important part of developing software in the future is going to be creating the specifications that drive AI to build the product properly. And it becomes more about grading the paper than actually writing the paper. Grading a math exam as opposed to actually solving it. So let's look at the next one, widening wealth gap. The economic benefits of AI tend to concentrate in the hands of the corporations and individuals who own the technology. This risks shrinking the middle class and exacerbating global inequality as labor captures a small share of economic value compared to capital. So, no doubt, no doubt. And you've got folks like Sam Altman saying, you know, what needs to happen is everybody gets a piece of the pie. And that sounds great and sounded even better when OpenAI was still nonprofit. But now that OpenAI is a corporation, stakeholders and board of directors, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's going to be no sharing of the wealth that's generated from things that AI creates. And it's scary to think about how you would even regulate that and how you would even distribute the wealth from that. That part's actually scary, even if you could think of a way to do it. Because you always have the human condition, and you always have people that, will take what you give them and just use it to pleasure themselves, and then it's gone, and then they come for yours. So it's a scary dystopian future to think about. So there will be that wealth gap, but there's already a wealth gap if we're being honest. And then you've got other folks like Elon Musk saying, "Hey, well, don't worry about it because AI is going to create so much abundance. We'll have so many resources. Nobody's going to even have to work." And the truth of the matter is, nobody wants that either. We're at our core, we're driven, and we're created with a need for purpose. It's who we are as humans. And if you take that away, then that's going to create mass chaos, in my opinion. Most of us don't want to just sit around and do nothing and be hand-fed by a robot. All right. Psychological and cognitive risks. The convenience of AI tools can lead to subtle but profound changes in how the human mind functions. Cognitive atrophy. I talked about this on a previous video, where over-reliance on AI for critical thinking, problem solving, can weaken our brain muscle, essentially. The Google effect on steroids, and I think this is a real one. I think it's up to us to continue to exercise our brains and not just GPT everything. This is a risk, but it's on us to mitigate it, just like it's on us to go to the gym, eat right, stay healthy. We got to do the same thing for our brains. Social isolation. As AI companions and hyper-personalized algorithms become more engaging, people may prefer digital interaction over complex, messy human relationships. Already a thing, right? Like this is where we've been trending. This is where we were trending before AI. And it's going to get worse for sure. But again, these type of things are going to be up to us to mitigate. And we can mitigate them. The psychological and cognitive risks, I would say. Like I currently don't watch Reels on loop. I have some mitigation around that where I'll look at thumbnails and I'll choose to watch a short video, but I don't allow myself to continuously scroll. I did that for a couple of years actually, and I found that it was definitely affecting my cognition. Loss of reality, deepfakes. Yeah, it's bad. The truth of this is you could deepfake prior to AI. It's just a lot easier now. I mean, to me, the scariest thing is the mean girl effect. And I'm just calling that out because that's a movie. But, it's going to be so easy to just make fake smut about somebody that you don't like. And I could see this getting just out of hand in high school and social media. Ethical and social issues. AI systems are often black boxes that can perpetuate human flaws on a massive scale. Algorithmic bias. AI models learn from historical data, which often contains racism, sexism, and other prejudices. And it can go the other way too. Like it can also learn from biases that George Washington, controversy with Google, for example. So yes, it can learn from all of this. It can learn the other way. It's very hard to make sure that AI is just factual. And that's hard to do. There's so many things in life. Like if you ask one doctor what you should do for your health, it might be different from another doctor. There's so many opinions, and then you go to like a holistic type medical advisor, and you get completely different advice. And it's like, okay, which one of those do you feed to AI? Surveillance and privacy erosion. Hunger for data to train AI models has led to pervasive surveillance. AI-powered cameras and data scrapers can track individuals' movements, behaviors, and emotions, virtually eliminating anonymity in public and digital spaces. Yeah, so if it's actually eliminating anonymity, that is a huge problem, for sure. I personally, if there's a camera recording me and how I traverse sidewalks in order to make better autonomous vehicles, I don't I don't think I would be upset about that, but I know a lot of people would. A lot of people would consider that a violation of their privacy. I am typically, you know, always doing legal things, so I don't it's there's a fine line there, and everybody has a different line is the thing, right? Like everybody's privacy line is a little bit different, and where do you draw that line, and how do you draw it? How do you make it policy and regulation? So that's a tough one. Security and safety threats. Oh, here we go. AI amplifies the capabilities of malicious actors. Cybersecurity, that's my field. AI can be used to write sophisticated malware, automate phishing attacks that are indistinguishable from real emails, and crack passwords faster than ever before. This is true. I would say one of the good things about in this space is we can also use AI to create better software for detecting these things. So while the attack surface is widening and the threats are becoming more advanced, so is the detection and protection that we can build. Still scary, no doubt. Autonomous weapons. The development of lethal autonomous weapon systems, machines that can select and engage targets without human intervention. I know AI can read better than me, for sure. Engage targets without human intervention. So this is like RoboCop, right? Raises the terrifying prospect of algorithmic warfare where machines make life or death decisions. Yeah, that's coming. That's definitely coming. And it's scary. I think for a lot of these, like autonomous weapons, autonomous vehicles, anything like that has very severe pros and cons. The amount of human life loss that autonomous weapons could introduce is incredible. The amount of free time that I would get from an autonomous vehicle, not having to actually drive places and pay attention to the road, that's a lot of time. And time is worth a lot to me. So very high upsides on these kinds of things. The downside, nobody wants to get killed by a machine. And for, autonomous weapons, it all comes down to policy. Like, who are they allowed to kill and why? And from what we've seen from our leaders is, that's got to be scary. You look at how polarized the United States is, and if either side of that spectrum wrote the policy for autonomous weapons, it'd be scary. All right, environmental costs. Despite being digital, AI has a massive physical footprint. Good. Energy consumption. Training a single large language model can consume as much electricity as hundreds of homes use in a year. So that's a lot. Hundreds of homes. So trying to do some quick math. Let's say they're all paying $200 a month. And so like $10,000 a month. That doesn't seem like much, actually. Water usage. Data centers require billions of liters of water for cooling. As AI scales, its demand for energy and water competes with human needs and contributes significantly to carbon emissions. That's true. Billions of liters of water for cooling. Yeah, so absolutely true. How much water do we have? Can we use salt water? Because we have a ton of that. All right. So, summarize. I thought I did a pretty good job, actually, of pointing out all the negatives, and I'm sure this stuff has been blogged about so much that it has plenty of data to pull from. Now, how do we mitigate these things? What are some ways that we can mitigate this? Because, in my opinion, this is a steamroller, and for somebody to just try to stop this train is, I think, similar to laying down in front of a steamroller that's trying to build a new subdivision. That subdivision's getting built, for better or worse, and all you're doing by laying down in front of it is potentially delaying it for a little bit, and costing somebody a little bit of money that they don't even care about. So the next video, we'll see what AI thinks are some of the ways we can mitigate the risks that AI is bringing to the table, and these are all legitimate. I think some of them are unavoidable. Some of them we can mitigate as a community. Some of them we can mitigate ourselves, like the cognitive thinking type stuff. You need to work out your own brain. You're responsible for that. But very interesting stuff, and stay tuned. We'll talk about mitigating it.